Today's dinner was so much fun, Krista. The restaurant seemed to be very high class, and the food was amazing. If you ever go out again, please don't be afraid to invite my husband and I again, because that was a spectacular time. And that's the thing. Do you think you can at least pay for your guys' food? Huh? Why? Well, because you guys happened to order a lot of extra drinks and appetizers today compared to everyone else. Extra caviar and the most expensive champagne they had. Just with those extra orders, you guys exceeded $4,000. And right now, Gage and I are a bit astonished by seeing that on the bill. And what are you trying to say to me? Today was the day for you guys to celebrate getting married, right? If you guys plan to not even have a wedding, then at least celebrate by paying for all your family to be at that dinner with you. So don't expect a penny out of either me or my husband, okay? And I can understand what you think, but we didn't even think you two could order that much extra drink and food by yourselves. It would have been fine if it was an extra basket of bread, but that was way too much tonight. Well, I'm sorry, but I didn't think my husband and I actually spent over $4,000 on everything there. You only had a one-course meal ordered for us, and that wasn't going to cut it, so we just happened to have wanted a little extra food and drink to go along with it. And when we go out to restaurants we like to dine at, that same amount of food and drink would only cost us $200 at most. This is what happens when you try and make yourselves look big by reserving a fancy restaurant for us. Are you saying it's our fault for reserving that restaurant, Mana? That's exactly what I'm saying. My husband and I came today to celebrate my little brother and his wife. So don't get all upset about us being there if you're the ones that invited us in the first place. Can you at least pay for a small portion of what you guys ate? We'll pay 80% if you guys can cover the other 20%. At least then we wouldn't have to cover that whole $4,000 for you two. Stop messing around with me, Krista. It's because of you two getting such a fancy and high-end restaurant that I had to pay a pretty penny for all my makeup and hair to be done. Yet now you want us to pay more for just eating some food? We aren't paying a thing for tonight. Really? Maybe from now on, you guys should stick to chain restaurants or something casual if you don't want to pay more than $1,000 for everyone. Ah, right. How about next time you guys just host a party at your house for everyone? Have everyone that comes at least bring one food or drink with them, and then you won't have to pay more than $200 for the night. A home party, huh? We talked about it today during dinner. You guys are planning to move into an amazing apartment tower now that you're married, right? The views are amazing and the rooms are spacious. And when Mom and Dad went with you guys to check the place out, they had a ball. So when you guys are ready, we'll come over to play as well. Well, if that's what you guys want to do next, I'll have to check with Gage first. I can't just choose these sorts of things on my own. Well, we'll make sure to make time for whenever you guys are ready to have us over. When you both have a good date open, let us know. We'll bring some good food and alcohol over, and we can all have a fun night.
My dad just told me that him and Mom have made it back home safely. They said that today's dinner was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you for letting me know, and I'm happy to hear they both had a great dinner with us. And actually, just a bit ago, I was texting with Mana. She said she and her husband both had a great time as well.
Well, maybe that's due to the two of them going over the top with all the food and drink they ordered. When you asked them to pay for what they ate, did she take that well?
She told me she has no intention of paying for it. I asked for them to at least pay a portion of the bill, but even then she told me they already paid enough just to be there for us. And then went on to tell me that asking for money from them now is just not right.
Dang it. And I guess that $4,000 is all going to have to be paid off by us. I'm sorry for my stupidly selfish sister. I'll make sure to pay for all they ate with my savings.
No, you don't have to do that. We both invited them to be at the dinner, so I'll pay for half of that. Anyway, Mana also said that she'd like to come to our new apartment to hang out sometime, and wondered if we could do a home party and all.
What? She invited herself to have a home party at our new place?
Well, talking about today's dinner led us to starting a new conversation about the apartment. And that's when she said that she wanted to come over and play.
She must have heard about Mom and Dad coming with us to check the place out last time. And since they all seemed to be really interested in the apartment, they always commented about it throughout today's dinner.
And that's what got Mana really into coming over to see the place firsthand. She said she and her husband would bring some food and drinks, and we could all have a party there. What should we do? Should we have a party? And when?
No, I'm not going to let her and her husband into this new apartment. You can just forget about her ever asking about a home party, because it's not happening at our place. Next time, if she says anything about it, tell her I said no.
Huh? You don't want either of them coming over to our place? You let your mom and dad come.
I have a hunch that when she comes here, she'll try to steal something from us, and I'm not letting that happen. So she's not coming in. And if she does come in, we'll lose some things and never see them again.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I know that you can see it in them, but my sister and her husband are both very selfish and will do anything and take anything they please. You could say that she's jealous of what others have, but too cheap to buy her own things. But I know that if she comes into our house, she'll leave with her hands full of our things.
Are you serious?
When I was living on my own, she came over quite often to hang out with me. She'd say that she was in the area shopping and wanted to stop over at my place to take a rest. But when they'd leave my place, I'd start realizing I was missing some of my things.
Are you sure you're not just mistaking some things?
I made sure to check everywhere for my things before accusing them. I started to notice that my toilet paper would disappear. But as time went on and they got worse and worse, I started to notice my clothing has gone missing and things like that.
What?
Even the t-shirts that I collected from those metal concerts I've gone to were missing. And one time when her husband came over, I saw him taking my things. Of course, I confronted them about it right then, but then they told me that they were just borrowing things before they ran off with them. And ever since then, I've gotten nothing of what they borrowed back.
That's really terrible of them, though. Even if you're family, that shouldn't mean they get to have all your things.
And that's the reason why those two are not allowed in our new apartment. And this place isn't just mine, but ours, and we have a lot of things here. I'm at least a little used to having some of my things stolen, but if they start stealing your things too, I'd break.
I get that, and I'm not too happy about any of that either. Then I guess we're not going to be having a house party with them then. And even besides that, we'll make sure not to let her or her husband into our place.
Yeah, let's do our best with that. I'm sorry, Krista. My family has all sorts of problems. If she says anything else to you about it, tell me right away. I'll make sure to handle them for you since she's my sister after all.
Krista! I decided to come over to hang out, but why are you not here? Are you guys out of the house somewhere? Wait, Mana? I bought some beers to bring over, so I'll put those in the fridge for later, okay? We can have them all when everyone's back here. The fridge? Hey, slow down a second there. Don't tell me you're in our apartment right now. You never ended up letting me know when we could come over, so I decided to let myself in. We already knew that Mom had a set of keys to the place. So after going to their house after dark, we grabbed the keys and came here to let ourselves in today. What? But that's breaking and entering, right? What are you talking about, Krista? We are your family, so we don't have to worry about things like that. But before we talk any more about that, can you tell us where you both went? It's the weekend now, so we had planned to come and have drinks with you both. We're on our honeymoon right now. I told you earlier that we'd be going to Europe today for our honeymoon and that we'd be back sometime later, right? Huh? Is that so? I feel that you did tell me that one time, but I guess I forgot. But back then, while you were still around, you should have invited me, so I was a bit disappointed in you for that. You were disappointed? I had some feeling that day you really wanted me to ask for you to come over, but... Really? And that's because I did want you to ask me over. Yet now that I decided to let myself over, you both happen to be out of the country. I don't even want to go home now. I guess until you both get back, we'll just have to live here. What? And just as Mom and Dad said, this place is super spacious. It's like living in the dream world, being up this high in the apartment tower with all this nice interior. I think we'll be taking this place over from now on. I think it's been long enough now, so why don't you and Gage just hand this place over to his big sister? There is no way we'd ever do something like that for you. Don't say such stupid things and just hurry up and leave our apartment, okay? Entering into someone's house without asking is trespassing, and that's not good. I told you, it's fine. We're your family, right? Oh, I just found some really high-quality steak in your guys' freezer. A5, huh? That's pretty expensive, isn't it? You and my little brother sure have lived the dream life here. Please stop going through our freezer like that. What is all of this? Some really expensive-looking wines and the most amazing-looking cheese. I'm going to open these all up right away. I'll make sure to leave you guys those cheap beers in exchange for this lovely wine, okay? I am telling you to please stop, Mana. You can't go into someone else's house and start eating and drinking all their things like that. What? What is this? What are all these really high-end pieces of jewelry you have here? These are those types that were only sold a limited time and were gone within days, right? Hey! What are you at now, fishing around like that? Do not just go into our room looking through all our things, please. I heard that these things can sell for a lot online right now. My God! I just put one of them up for sale and it's already been sold. And I just made 3 times the original amount of it. This is amazing here. You have to be joking. Did you just sell one of my pieces of jewelry? It's fine, it's fine. I'll make sure to give you half the money I received, okay? And the other half will go to me for going through all of this work. Stop all of this right now, Mana. Doing all of this after breaking into our house is not okay. If you are not out of that house in 1 minute, I'm calling the police. What? Were you not listening to what I just said a second ago? My husband and I really like this apartment, and so from here on out, it's where we're going to live. So this is no longer your guys' place to call home anymore. Excuse me? You guys don't have a place to come home to now. You guys still have some time on your honeymoon to start looking for a new place to live. We never planned to go back there. Huh? Actually, a few days before we went on vacation, Gage and I moved out of there. And so we haven't been planning on ever going back there once we're done on our honeymoon. You moved out? Then whose place is this right now? And the key that Mom and Dad had still allowed us to get in. Normally when someone moves out, the company that owns the tower will change the lock, right? Well, the next couple to be moving in is close to us, and so we saw no need having all the locks and keys changed out. After all, we were handing that place over to your mom and dad to live in. What? My mom and dad? Actually, we had been talking with them about this. They told us before that they really did love our apartment a lot. And when we told them that we had planned to move out at some point, they asked if they could have it next as their new home. Their new home? Well, the house they had was getting really old, and they were first thinking of remodeling that house. But during that time, they came over and saw our new apartment, and that's when they became interested in wanting to live here. But having them look for a tower apartment of their own to move into can be pretty stressful. And so your brother and I started thinking that maybe they could move into our apartment. And so in the end, we decided to have them take our place and move in. And they really liked that idea and thanked us for it. What the heck? And also, recently, you have been a pain in the butt. So we had the idea of moving out on our minds for a month now. And so, since we both had been wanting to move and your parents really wanted this place, we gave it to them in turn for whatever money they got for that old house so that we could get a new place to live. And that's why we were able to move out of there right before we took our honeymoon and have a new place to live. So then that means... Wait a sec. So right now, this isn't your guys' apartment, but my mom and dad's? Yep. Your parents wanted a more relaxed life, and living there would give them that. And so that steak and wine and cheese that you just happened to eat and drink all belonged to your mom and dad. And that high-end piece of jewelry you just sold belonged to your mom. And I remember her telling me that she always had to take days out of her life waiting to buy those for herself. Huh? You're lying, right? What should I do? I didn't know this all belonged to my parents now. And it seems your mom and dad are close by going on a walk right now. And when I called them and let them know of this, they said they'd start walking home right away. So they should be there any minute now to see you both. Oh, crap! Crap, crap, crap! Right now the doorbell is going off like crazy. Mom and Dad are going to be so pissed with me for this. Well, Gage and I are on our honeymoon trip, so I'm going to have to leave you with them now. Make sure to apologize to them both, okay? Help me, Krista! Do you think you can let us come stay with you for a bit? Huh? What happened to you? My mom and dad kicked me out of their apartment. I tried so hard to apologize to them for everything, but they were both so frustrated with me that they wouldn't listen to a word I said. And they ended by saying they never wanted me around them ever again. But my husband and I had planned to live in that apartment, right? And so the apartment we had before, we gave up before coming over to that tower apartment. Man, you really did plan on taking our apartment away from us. Right now we're trying to make it work without a house, but I can't do it any longer. And another thing, right? I was fired from my job. But with the amount my husband brings in, we cannot live like this, and we have no savings. And without any money, he and I can't find a place to rent. And having to move into someplace new does cost a lot of money and time, right? So if you can please let us stay with you until we have enough money saved up, that'd be much appreciated. Let us know where you guys moved away to. You guys have to be back from that honeymoon by now, right? So please, let us live with you guys for a while in that new place. I'm sorry, but I can't do that. After telling Gage about what happened recently and the history he's had with you, I don't think I'll ever be able to allow you guys around our house. But we are family, aren't we? And even if we're in-laws, I've always seen you as my little sister. And you can see that your older sister is struggling right now, so just shut up and let us stay with you. If you don't, I'm no longer going to be friendly with you. Actually, I'm totally fine with you and I never seeing each other again. And if you think you're struggling right now, I'd rather not let you over here, or else you'll make Gage and I struggle with you both as well. And I get that you think I'm your little sister, but in reality, I'm your husband's boss. And so, really, I have control over what happens with you both. Huh? You're my husband's boss? So no matter how much you think you and I have been close, I'm not thinking of us the same way. He's my employee right now, and I don't want to have a personal connection to his family when at any moment I might need to fire him. Huh? Wait, what did you just say? We had talked about this during my dinner a while back, but I suppose you both were drunk off of that champagne, and so you never heard me talking about being your husband's boss. You guys really work for the same company? What the hell? This is the first time I'm hearing about any of this. And the company we work for isn't all that big, so when I got married, he knew about it pretty quickly. Word began to spread then about how him and I would be related, and that would mean he would be my subordinate, even though he's my family, and that's against company policy. So the plan was that after I had gotten married and was back in the office, he would have to change departments. And so, actually, he's been left with another manager in charge of him. Wait, what? Why do you get to be above my own husband in that company? My husband is older than you, right? But I happen to have a lot better of an education. And I've done a lot more for this company. Huh? This company is relatively new, and so things like age and gender play no part in who becomes management here. And so those who actually put in the work and are educated in what they do get to move up. So, wait, that means you're saying my husband pretty much sucks at his job there? Well, to be honest, yes. And I have to say, I'd never really want to consider him my employee or anything. Just be aware that when I'm back, things will become a lot more strict for him. I don't want him thinking he can just keep getting away with slacking off while he has a bunch of work to get done. What? I've heard from a lot of the other leaders in this company about him. They say he's never wanted to get anything done right, and he's always on his phone or at other people's desks talking with them. That's probably the reason someone like me was able to become a manager here, and he had to stay put. Huh? Wait, you... Just because we're family doesn't mean you get a free pass to start talking about my husband that way. I promise you that he will not take all that talk lightly. He'll make sure to surpass you in no time there. And that would be awesome. But before he can do that, I think he'll be on the company's chopping block. Huh? According to others, he has been stealing some things from the company, and soon the company will have evidence of all that to work with. And since you've been fired, and so will your husband here soon, you both will be stuck in a pretty crappy lifestyle. Excuse me? I'll just say this for your sake, but remember that even though you guys will have nowhere to go, you cannot break into other people's homes. They might really call the police on you both, and that wouldn't turn out well. Now, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye! After all of that, the following day, Mana's husband was brought into the HR office and had quite the talking to. They had evidence of him stealing things from the company, and he replied by telling them it was his wife by asking him to bring those things back to her. He would then say he shouldn't be fired for listening to what his wife wanted, but they replied by saying his work ethic is also poor and he never seems to do anything but talk to other employees all day. And that day, he was kicked out of the office building and told to never return, along with having to pay the company back for the list of things he'd stolen, totaling out to $750 of things. And then after that, those two ran crying back to Mana's mom, trying to get her to understand them. But she didn't have any of it when she learned that they were causing problems for everyone, and not just the family. And then followed up by telling them they were no longer family. And that was the end of them ever having anything to do with us, and that was great news to Gage and I. And when trying to ask friends to let them stay at their houses, they'd tell them to stay away because they didn't want their things stolen either. This led to those two finally giving up on trying to rely on others, and so they started to look for work so they could start back over from square one. So right now, the both of them are working for a 2-star hotel outside of town where they also live. And all I can say is my husband and I are praying that they don't do anything stupid there to get them to lose their last remaining hope.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Alright, Mom, you're going to put a stop to this right now. What do you think you're doing, spreading such awful rumors about me? You're lying to the whole neighborhood about your own daughter. I can't even begin to tell you how much you've humiliated me. Whatever could you be talking about, Melina? I haven't lied about you to anyone. That's an awful accusation to throw at your mother. What lies are you referring to? You're telling everyone you know that my fiancé is a high school dropout, homeless, and collecting welfare. I just ran into Aunt Shirley downtown, and the first thing she did was ask me if I'm sure I want to marry a man like that. She spent a full 5 minutes trying to convince me to break up with him thanks to you. Oh, so that's what this is about. What's wrong with telling people the plain and simple truth about your fiancé? After all, the only kind of man dumb enough to marry a high school dropout like you must be equally as stupid as you are. Excuse me? Did you just call me stupid? And I couldn't help but notice that that was also a cruel dig at my fiancé, too. Again, was anything I just said wrong? You did drop out of high school, and you know what they say. Like attracts like.
It's only natural to assume your fiancé must be equally as uneducated, reckless, and stupid as you are.
What gives you the right to talk about my fiancé like that? You've never even met him. I'll have you know he is a kind, intelligent, hardworking, wonderful man. Not only did he not drop out of high school, he actually went to college, and he got an advanced degree.
Are you serious? Your fiancé went to college?
Why do you think I've been begging you to meet with him and talk to him personally? You don't know anything about him. But whenever I invite you over for dinner, you're always busy with one thing or another. If you're going to talk to people about him, then common courtesy dictates you should at least speak to him first.
I would never even dream of doing such a thing. Why would I go out of my way to meet with your fiancé? I don't feel like associating myself with the dregs of society. Don't forget that I've been against you getting married from the very beginning. Tying the knot before your younger sister, Luna, it's absolutely ridiculous, ludicrous, madness even. So no, I won't be meeting with any fiancé of yours when I don't even consent to the marriage in the first place.
I don't get it, Mom. It doesn't make a bit of sense. Why are you so opposed to me getting married? I mean, the simple fact that I'm several years older than Luna makes it far more likely that I get married first, statistically speaking.
Don't play dumb with me. This has nothing to do with age, and you know it. The problem is that you're a high school dropout. Your sister Luna, however, went to a prestigious university and graduated with honors. You're inferior to her in every way imaginable. How could I ever allow you to get married before her?
I am at a loss for words. I genuinely don't know what to say in response to that.
Ever since she was a small child, I always knew that Luna would grow up to be beautiful and intelligent. I'm so proud to be her mother. You, on the other hand, are an ugly high school dropout. I'm ashamed to even be associated with you. And yet you still felt like you had the right to get married before your sister. You don't deserve happiness, Melina. You don't deserve love. Luna deserves everything.
Are you joking right now? You've got some nerve to say that to me. It's not like I wanted to drop out of high school. I had no choice. And you were the one who left me with no other choice, Mom. After Dad passed away when I was a freshman in high school, we did hit some hard financial times. But then you decided that we could only afford to have one of our family members going to school. You made me drop out of high school so I could work to support the family.
What was I supposed to do? Someone had to support the family. Your father died before his career took off. He left us with absolutely nothing.
If that's really the case, then we should have at least talked everything over as a family before deciding how to move forward. But you wouldn't listen to a word I said. You made the decision completely arbitrarily and without talking to either of us. Do you remember what you said to me then? You said that a college degree would be wasted on an ugly girl like me. So you made me drop out of high school to pay for Luna's college education.
With limited financial resources, I had no choice but to spend efficiently. With beauty and brains, Luna's sure to find a husband with no trouble at all. A man with class, style, talent, and of course, tons and tons of money. Once Luna marries that wealthy man, then he'll be able to support Luna and me. And I won't have any issues with maintaining a decent lifestyle into my elderly years. I had everything planned out intricately, and it all hinged on Luna going to college instead of you.
I see. So you weren't thinking about me or Luna. You were only ever thinking about yourself. You say you're ashamed to be associated with me? Well, that makes two of us. I'm ashamed to call you my mother.
Well, to think I worked so hard to raise you all by myself, only for you to speak in such a disrespectful way to me. I hope you're not planning on receiving any sort of wedding gift from me. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't plan on me coming to your wedding at all.
You can cut the act, Mom. We both know you were never going to give us anything to begin with.
Even if you're telling the truth and really are marrying a college graduate, it still wouldn't be worth my time to attend the wedding. Nothing changes the fact that he decided to marry an ugly high school dropout. He must be hideously ugly. He's probably overweight, too. Oh, and unemployed to boot. That's the only sort of man who would choose you to spend their life with.
Hey, Ken, got a minute? I need to talk to you about the wedding. Long story short, we're not gonna need to prepare a seat for my mom at the venue.
Oh boy, I guess that means she turned you down then?
I'm sorry, I've told you about this before, but my family is, well, kind of dysfunctional. I was planning to ask that she please come when I talked to her yesterday, but we just ended up having another fight. And toward the end, she said in no uncertain terms that she had no intentions of coming to our wedding. To be really honest, though, I don't really want her to come either.
Man, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I definitely would love for her to come to such an important event, but... Well, what can you do? I know you have a messy history with your mom, and if it's just gonna cause problems, then we don't need to invite her. It's our wedding, isn't it? The most important thing is that we can make it a positive environment to celebrate with our near and dear ones.
Thank you for being so understanding, Ken.
Oh, but what about your sister? Is she coming? Your issues are just between you and your mom, right?
Oh yeah, me and my sister get along just fine. We used to hang out together all the time whenever Mom wasn't around. Honestly, it seems like life for her isn't all rainbows and unicorns either. Getting love-bombed by my mom on a daily basis is just as troublesome as getting hate-bombed. I'm pretty concerned for her the way things are. When I announced that you proposed, Mom's face turned pale as a ghost, but Luna lit up with excitement. She was so happy for me.
That's great to hear. So does that mean we can plan on her coming?
Well, I haven't told her any details about the wedding yet, just the fact that we're engaged. I've been meaning to talk to her about that sometime in the near future.
Okay. From what you're telling me, it seems like it might be for the best to wait a bit before telling her, though. The most important thing is that we can make it a positive environment to celebrate with our near and dear ones. That's a really busy time of the year for students at that college.
I guess you're right. We can put it off for a bit longer. Thanks for the advice, Ken. I love you. Talk to you later. Mom, what in the world are you doing? You said you weren't coming. We never even sent you an invitation. But now you just show up out of nowhere and barge your way in? And that's all besides the point. Why are you dressed like that?
I felt responsibility as your mother to ensure that this wedding is a total disaster. What do you think of my outfit, dear? It took me forever to put it all on, not to mention finding somewhere they sell scythes. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get your hands on a real scythe these days?
You have gone completely insane. And you mean to tell me you went out of your way to come to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper just to ruin my wedding? What is wrong with you?
I told you, Melina, there was no way I was ever going to allow this wedding to go forward. You have no business getting married before Luna. At first I thought it would be enough to refuse to come, but the more I thought about it, I realized that simply my opposition wouldn't be enough to get you to cancel this monstrosity of a wedding. I knew that I had to forever bury your hopes and dreams of getting married. That's why I decided to come dressed as the Grim Reaper.
I don't believe this. How could you be so opposed to me getting married, Mom? I'm your daughter. Don't you want to see your daughter find happiness?
I would love nothing more than for my superior daughter to find happiness. You, however, are an inferior product. I could never allow a failure such as yourself to be happy. The thought of such an ugly, uneducated person walking down the aisle in a beautiful white dress, grinning from ear to ear, it just makes me sick. Why should you be so happy when the more deserving people are miserable? Have you no shame?
That's my line. Are you listening to yourself?
You should live a life more fitting of someone of your stature, poor, cold, and alone. And yet you have the gall to throw such an elaborate wedding. Luna should be getting married today, not you. You don't deserve any of this, and as God is my witness, I will do everything in my power to take it all away from you.
I can't do this anymore. You've always preferred Luna over me ever since we were kids. You never cared about me. You never loved me at all. If that's how you feel about me, why can't you just leave me alone? It's no business of yours who I marry, when I marry them, and what kind of wedding I have. Stay out of my life.
It's not that I don't care. If I didn't care, then you wouldn't make me so furious as you do. You're the spitting image of your father, that useless excuse for a man. How could he go and leave me alone like this? He forced me to take on the entire burden of supporting this family by myself. And every time I look at you, I'm reminded of him and what he did to me.
Mom,
That's why it pains me so much to see you happy. That's why I have to stop this wedding. Getting married is the happiest moment in anyone's life. I remember how I felt on my wedding day. Do you see now? Do you understand why I must do what I'm doing now?
So, that's why you're doing this? That's why you've been so awful to me all these years? I always thought you were just playing favorites because Luna's prettier than I am. I'm not deluded about my looks. I'm well aware that most people would say that Luna is the prettier sister. I freely admit that she's prettier than I am. But that wasn't it, was it? It was really all because I looked like Dad. Mom, I understand you've gone through some hard times. But that's no reason for you to use me as some kind of punching bag. I don't exist for you to vent your frustrations out on. I'm a human being. I'm your daughter.
You're right about one thing. You are indeed my daughter. And as my daughter, you are what I say you are. And I say you're my punching bag.
You're the worst, Mom. You treated me like trash to try and make yourself feel better. And today you came to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper with a real scythe and everything just to try and ruin my chance at happiness. You're such a child, Mom. Why did Dad have to be the one to die?
Shut your mouth, little girl. You can't talk to me like that. You're nothing but an ugly high school dropout. You're a disgrace to both me and your sister. Ruining this day for you has been the most fulfilling thing I've done in years.
I hate to interrupt your self-satisfaction, but aren't you forgetting something important?
What?
You never asked me who my fiancé was. I told Luna about him, and she's met him in person before. So I figured she would have said something to you about him. But from the sounds of things, you really don't know anything, huh? Come to think of it, I'll bet she intentionally left you in the dark.
What's going on with you, Melina? You think your husband's identity would mean anything to me? I don't care one bit about who you're marrying. You claim he went to college, but I bet it was just some community college. No man worthy of my attention would ever marry an ugly high school dropout for a wife.
Well, while I did start out taking classes at a community college, my educational path didn't stop there. I went on to receive a master's degree, and I'm currently a tenure-track professor. But those qualifications aren't enough for you, Mother? My goodness, you have high standards.
What? Who is this?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Ken, and today it is my distinguished honor to receive your daughter's hand in holy matrimony. As I just mentioned, I'm currently teaching at a nearby university. I think you may have heard of it, considering it's the university that your other daughter, Luna, is attending.
You're a college professor, and at Luna's school, but that's the most prestigious university in the state.
Well, in all fairness, I was only hired this school year, so I'm new on campus. However, in that short time, I just so happened to have met Luna multiple times. Twice a week, to be precise, she's enrolled in one of my classes. She always sits in the front row and is very attentive. Most of my students are constantly fiddling with their phones during class, but not her.
This can't be happening. You're a college professor and Luna is one of your students? But, if you really have the qualifications that you say you do, then why would you even consider marrying Melina? I shouldn't have to tell you that she's ugly, but are you aware she's a high school dropout? Someone of your caliber shouldn't be wasting your time with an imbecile like her.
Yes, I'm aware of Melina's educational history. I disagree wholeheartedly on your assessment of her appearance and intelligence, however. Frankly, educational attainment is a horrible measure of a person's cognitive capacity. I can't begin to tell you how ungifted some of the people I have to deal with at the university are.
What?
Melina, however, is incredibly gifted, particularly in foreign languages. Did you know she's fluent in Spanish, French, and Mandarin? She makes great use of those skills in her work, too. Honestly, she's one of the most intelligent, hardworking people I've ever known.
But I don't remember her ever studying foreign languages. How could she speak all those languages without even finishing high school?
It seems you're not aware of much of anything at all that Melina has done with her life. She's the international liaison officer for a major trading company. It's her responsibility to translate during international meetings between the company's branches in Los Angeles, Madrid, Paris, and Beijing. Ordinarily, a company would have to hire at least one person per language, but she handles it all by herself.
I had no idea.
It's precisely those language skills that brought us together. You see, there was recently a major development in my field at a university in France. Unfortunately, however, I don't speak French. That's where Melina came in. It wasn't even in a field that she was an expert in, but she translated the entire paper in an afternoon. The way she was so willing and eager to take on a new challenge was completely enrapturing. I fell in love at first sight.
With her?
I invited her out on a date after that. Eventually, we became officially a couple, and just a few months ago, I asked her to be my wife. I've been looking forward to our wedding for so long, and Melina was doubly as excited. And yet, you, Melina's own mother, came out here today on a mission to crush her happiness. Ma'am, I'm not quick to be incensed. I like to think I'm one of the more level-headed people I know, but even I am struggling to rein in my anger right now.
Listen, Professor, I would like to apologize for everything I've said. Oh my goodness, I had no idea a person such as yourself would be interested in someone like Melina. And not only that, you're Luna's professor as well. I'm so ashamed. I'm going to go change into proper attire now. I'll be back in a moment.
Waste your time. We never prepared a place for you today anyway. Leave immediately. You are not welcome here.
What?
Let me make myself crystal clear. If you do not leave the premises within 3 minutes, I will call the police. Also, you should know that our university has a world-class law school. I know many of the world's best lawyers on a first-name basis. I will force you to take responsibility for what you've done here today. That I can promise you.
I'm leaving right now. I'm very sorry for everything. Melina, you owe me an explanation. Why didn't you ever tell me about Ken? I had no idea he was a college professor. I just humiliated myself thanks to you.
Thanks to me? Nah, you did a good enough job of humiliating yourself without any help from me at all. And please, I tried to tell you about Ken so many times. I've been trying to get you to come and meet him for the last several months. But you refused to meet him, and you ignored or denied everything I told you about him.
Hush, you! You could have tried much harder to introduce him to me. Oh, for the love of... I'll have to go and apologize to Ken immediately. I still can't believe he was Luna's professor. Maybe if I butter him up enough, he might give up his silly pursuit of you and marry Luna instead.
I don't believe you. You're still just thinking about using Luna's life as your retirement plan.
Nonsense! I'm doing this for Luna. The fact that I'll benefit is merely a pleasant side effect. A man like him deserves a woman like Luna on his arm. I need to call Luna, too, so we can schedule a strategy planning session. She's going to be so happy when she hears I've found a husband for her.
No, I don't think she's going to be so eager to take you up on that. She's already married.
What? Luna is married?
As expected, you are completely oblivious. You've showered her with affection every day of her life, but you never asked her if she had a boyfriend?
Melina, what are you talking about? What do you mean Luna's married? That can't be.
It totally can, actually. She just got married a few weeks ago.
No!
Luna had a big midterm exam a while back, but she was absent that day. Ken was concerned about her since he'd never seen her miss a single class. That made me worried too, so I gave Luna a call and she spilled the beans to me. It turns out that she was pregnant and felt too sick to get out of bed that morning. Furthermore, she was considering dropping out of school completely to get married.
She's pregnant? Oh no.
Yeah, I was surprised at first too. Then I went over to see her, and sure enough, she had grown a bit rounder in her face and waist. At that point, she was about 5 months pregnant.
No, Luna, Oh, my darling, sweet Luna. She was my everything, my hopes and my dreams. And now, oh, my dreams have been crushed to pieces.
She told me that she was sick and tired of everything. All the affection and attention you had heaped on her had become a massive amount of pressure. She did what you asked of her and got into that prestigious university, but she hated every single day of it. It was around that time when she met a nice guy, started dating him, and eventually got pregnant.
This is the worst day of my life.
Yeah, this is precisely the response she was afraid of. She was so afraid of what you'd say if she came out and told you the truth, so she hid her pregnancy from you. I was the first person other than her boyfriend that she had even told about being pregnant.
Where is Luna right now? Tell me. Oh, she can't be pregnant as a college student. I won't allow it. I'll also have to go and examine this boyfriend of hers to see if he's up to snuff. If she met him at her university, then there's a good chance he's exactly the kind of man I'm looking for. If he's gotten my precious Luna pregnant, then he's going to have to take responsibility by paying for my living expenses.
Yep, that's exactly what Luna thought you'd say, and that's exactly why she dropped out of college. She's already moved in with the baby's father.
What? She dropped out?
Looks like Luna finally had enough of you, Mom. She said that she was sick and tired of doing what you say. She'd been pushing herself to limit every single day of her life and couldn't handle it anymore. Now she just wants to enjoy a quiet, peaceful life with her husband and their baby.
No. So you're telling me the truth then? She really dropped out of college? How could she do that without talking to me first?
Do I really need to answer that question? She had enough of your advice, so she came to me for help instead. I told her what you should have told her years ago, that her life is her own and no one else's. For her part, Luna felt awful about going to college while I was forced to drop out of high school. But honestly, dropping out was the best decision I've ever made. It freed me up to learn about what's really important in life rather than what they shoved down your throat in school. When I told her that, it was all the encouragement she needed to walk straight to the administration office and drop out.
This is terrible. So where is she now? Do you know?
Nope, she didn't tell me, and I didn't ask. She sent me an envelope with a card congratulating me on my wedding, but there was no return address on it.
She can't do this to me. Oh, my sweet, precious Luna. She had everything. Looks, brains, style. I poured everything I had into her. What am I supposed to do now? I'm all alone.
Yeah, your big retirement plan hinged on Luna marrying a rich guy after all. But since Luna's out of the picture now, you'll just have to figure something out for yourself. And with that, I'm taking my leave from this conversation.
Melina, wait. You weren't my first choice, but with Luna gone, well, beggars can't be choosers. Now you can be my favorite daughter.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry for being so cruel to you up until now. I just had no idea what a bright, intelligent, hard-working woman you were. How about we just forget about all our nasty pain and come together as a family again? I know. How about you and Ken take me out to dinner one of these nights?
Not a chance. You're way, way too late to have this change of heart.
But I'm sincere about this, Melina. I want to make it up to you. We've got a lot of lost time between us as mother and daughter, dear. It's not too late to repair our relationship.
Yes, it is. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a mother. You're dead to me.
Melina, don't say that, please.
You have only yourself to blame for this. You've been the absolute worst mother in the world to me ever since Dad died. Come to think of it, I don't even remember you being kind to me while Dad was still alive. So no, it is most assuredly too late for you to start trying to be my mom again.
I know things have been difficult between us, but time heals all wounds. Let's give it some time, okay? I'm begging you, Melina. Without you, I have nothing left.
That's your problem, not mine. Maybe you should have thought twice before coming to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper.
Oh, that was just a joke. I was trying to be funny.
No one's laughing, Mom. Never contact me again. I won't even come to your funeral when you finally die. My mom tried to contact me a bunch of times after that, but I eventually got sick of it and blocked her number, so that was the end of that. I heard from my relatives and neighbors that she had gone around begging for any information on Luna's whereabouts. But they knew exactly what Mom had been doing to both me and her since our dad died, so none of them were willing to give up any of the little information they had. I don't blame them either. Mom always paraded her around like a new sports car or something, She only ever saw Luna as a designer purse, never as a daughter. Actually, I take that back. She also saw her as a walking, breathing retirement account. While I don't know where she's living, I still keep in touch with my sister. It's so nice to have Mom out of both of our lives now. She used to dominate every conversation, but now she's not even an afterthought. The baby's gonna be born soon, and both she and her husband are more excited than they have ever imagined they would be. I know just what a hardworking, intelligent, and positive girl Luna is, so I know she's gonna be a fantastic mother for that baby. I'm looking forward to having a similar sort of family life here with my husband Ken, too.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey Janice, have you been doing alright with your husband recently? You haven't been getting the cold shoulder or anything from your husband these days? Like when you try to talk to him, he just ignores you, or when you invite him out, he says no? You haven't noticed anything like that happening between the two of you lately? Why are you asking me all of this all of a sudden? It's very rare that I ever get a text or a call from you, Isabel. And having you ask about my husband is even stranger. Are you sure you're not confusing me with another woman named Janice or anything? I'm sorry, Janice. I don't think I know anyone else with the name Janice besides you. I just wanted to talk to you about something that I think might be bothering you lately. The reason that Jerry has been so cold to you lately is because of me. Right now, I'm going out with your husband. And all this started a couple of months ago, and we've been going strong together. Haven't you noticed that for the past few months, Jerry's been going on business trips a whole lot of more frequently? In reality, he's only been coming over to my place so that we can go out together. I'm sorry, I happened to get a hold of the man you love. But you should have known that I'd be coming back one day to get what you took from me. Wait a second, you're going out with Jerry? You and him are really dating now? I have no reason to be joking with you about this. The man you had been so happily married to is now in my hands, but that's bound to happen since you've always been in my shadow ever since the two of us were in school together. When I first heard that you had gotten married to a CEO, I really felt that. There's no way a man like that should be wasting away with a low-life scum like you. So I'm sorry to say this, but let me have your husband now. Huh? The spot you have next to your husband and that beautiful penthouse you live in with him are now mine. It's about time that I'm the one who won Jerry to my side. If you understand everything I've told you, I'd like it you got out from that penthouse right now. But him and I have been divorced for over 3 years now. Huh? Well, Jerry and I got divorced years ago. I never got around to letting everyone know about it or post it on social media, so I'd assume you never knew anything about this. Divorce? And 3 years ago? Yeah, surprise, I guess. Why are you telling me a bunch of bull crap right now? Do you think that telling me these crazy lies is gonna let me leave your husband alone? What? That wasn't a lie. Everything I said is very true. There's no way, Janice. I can see on that man that he has a wedding ring on his ring finger. Why would he still be wearing that if he was divorced? Come on, do you really think that I'm stupid enough to fall for your lies and will leave you alone? Please, I know all of this hurts to hear from me, but I'd never joke or lie to you about the man I love. I'm sorry, but I'll pass on believing you. You're wrong though, Isabel. I'm telling the truth when I say that him and I are no longer married. We divorced 3 years ago over some things that I'd like to sort of keep private. If you'd really like me to believe that you and him are no longer a thing, then show me by divorcing him right now. I'd like for him and I to get married really soon, so hurry up and get those divorce papers. When I've seen that you've signed the papers, then I'll trust everything you said. Hey Jerry, I heard that during the time we've been divorced, you've started going out with one of my good old friends from back in the day. I don't care who you choose to date now, that we're no longer a thing, but can you please make sure to explain everything to her before she comes to me spewing misinformation?
What? Since when did you learn that Isabel and I have started dating?
I got a few texts from Isabel about it. She seems to think that you and I are still married to each other. She told me that she's stolen you from me, so I have to divorce you now.
What?
She thinks that you and I are still married to one another, and that she's done a great job stealing you from me. I already know that she's a bit of a nut, but you have to do a better job at clearing things up when you talk to her. You and I divorced years ago, and you're still wearing the wedding ring. To her, she thinks that was a good enough piece of evidence to use as a reason for you and I still being together.
You're kidding me. What the heck? Isabel really went and started talking to you again? Well, I'm just glad that she started talking to you, which leaves me in the clear. If she started talking to my wife, I'd be in huge trouble.
Huh? What do you mean by your wife?
Now that I think about it, I never got around to telling you. I actually got remarried to another woman. I think her and I filled out the paperwork about a year after we got divorced.
Seriously? Then why are you going out with Isabel now?
If you just put a little thought into it, you'd probably get your answer. I'm only with Isabel for the ride.
Huh?
But if she were to seriously start talking to my real wife about her being with me, I'm so glad that she thinks that you and I are still married. It really helps me out a ton. Just thinking that she might have started to talk with my current wife, God, does it make me feel sick.
Jerry, you still haven't gotten over your urge to cheat? The whole reason you and I split was due to you cheating on me before. Now you're with another woman? And you're even cheating on her?
Well, it can't be helped, can it? I'm just the kind of man that's into these sort of relationships. I have the ability to literally get any woman to come my way. Even those within my company.
Huh?
But when it comes to someone like Isabel, she's far better than the rest. That's why I really enjoy using her as my toy right now, and I'm sure that Isabel has the same intentions with me. But perhaps I should start being more serious with her.
Don't say such awful things, Jerry. You have a wife right now, so I want you and Isabel to leave each other, please. I thought it was already enough having you sleeping with another woman while we were married, but for you to do it again to another woman again? You went through all the trouble of getting remarried, so you should take better care of her as your wife.
And I am taking great care of her, but the relationship I have with her and the one I have with Isabel are both very different. And besides, if I started to only focus on my wife and nobody else, what would all the other women that want to sleep with me think?
Huh?
Well, for the time being, I'm sorry that Isabel went and got you involved in this. I'll make sure from now on to tell Isabel about the reality of us two, okay?
The fact the whole reason you and I got divorced was due to you cheating, and yet here you are again, doing the same thing to your current wife. I'm just glad I got rid of you when I did.
You saying things like that must mean you still care a little bit about me, right? If that happens to be the case, do you want to try getting back together with me? I wouldn't mind having myself another wife to cheat on.
Don't start making fun of me, Jerry. Because of everything you did, the memories I have of you are all very depressing. So if I'm ever to get married to another man, I'll make sure he has no intentions of ever seeing another woman. I'd never once think about getting back together with a jerk like you.
But it was because you married a jerk like me that you were able to live in a penthouse with a huge CEO. Are you sure you're not missing the life you had with me? And that's why you want to get back together? You can't tell me the truth, Janice.
Excuse me?
If you'd like to get back together, you can message me anytime. Now, I'm heading out.
Starting today, I'll be living in the penthouse. I heard that you had no desire of leaving this place, and so you had to be tossed out. Huh? I was told by Jerry that you didn't even want to divorce him yet. So while you're still around, he said the two of us can't get married yet, but we can still live together. It's all because you just couldn't let go of him, and I now have to wait longer to be with my man. I'm just glad he was able to get you out of the penthouse. You're lying, right? Wait, are you telling me that you've seriously started moving into someone else's house already? Someone else's house? What the heck does that mean? Today this place is going to become Jerry and my place to make love. I was actually a bit worried that it'd take him a long time to get me in, so I made a duplicate key for the place that I'll be using. What? So this means that you haven't even really talked to Jerry yet about going and staying in his penthouse? Well, when you put it that way, I suppose so. But I know that he'll be fine with it. After all, he loves me and wants to marry me as soon as he can. That's the kind of cute love the two of us share, unlike you. I don't think there's anything cute about your guys' love. What? The only thing that's not cute here is the fact that you still haven't divorced him even after being kicked out of the house. I keep telling you to hurry up and leave my man, yet you do nothing. I have no other choice but to toss all of your things out of here as well. Now that all your things are gone, there's nothing reminding him of you here, so you really do have nothing better to do than divorce him. You threw out all those things? I did. Every last thing is gone now. I was able to get someone to come here and take care of it all. I could definitely see that you had a lot of nice things since you've been the wifey of a wealthy CEO. I bet if I sold a lot of that online, I could have made thousands and thousands of all of it. All of your things were very luxury brands, so you must have had it all made out for you here. You're lying about all that, right? Doing that to someone else's things? But I told you that starting today, I'd be the one getting to live this luxurious life with Jerry, and so all of those things were technically mine. So this all means that you're never going to come back to this penthouse ever again, right? This'll be the place that Jerry and I can start making a family together. A woman that's no longer loved by him is only getting in the way now. Isabel, I want you to go out and get all of those things you just threw out. If you don't do any of that soon, I'm sure that his wife is going to call the police on you. Huh? His wife? That's you, right? Do you really think that it's a good idea to call the police on me over this? All I did was get rid of the little roadblock that was in my way of taking my seat next to my CEO. I never did one thing that was a crime. You went ahead and vandalized someone else's things. You took all her things and broke them down and threw them out, right? And the fact that the person that threw those all out is the person her husband is sleeping with. I don't think you'll be able to hide all of this from Jerry's wife now. Huh? Why do you keep saying his wife like she's not you? And I told you all of this before, right? Him and I have been divorced for 3 years now. And then after that, Jerry ended up getting married to another woman. And that penthouse is the place where Jerry and his current wife live. Huh? But that was the lie you made to try and get me to leave you alone, right? You really are divorced? We are. I wasn't able to deal with Jerry cheating on me anymore. And so the two of us got divorced. Actually, while we had been married to each other, he was sleeping with all kinds of women. I knew about that for a little while, but I just couldn't stand to be with him any longer and had the two of us divorce. What? But to hear that he got married, when I first heard that from him, I had to look into them myself. And he really did happen to get married to a very well-off lady. And I know you've heard of him, that's his penthouse and all, but I think that the two of you are going to be kicked out of there once his wife finds out. Huh? You're lying. This penthouse is Jerry's, right? And I never even knew that he ended up marrying a really wealthy woman. And when I learned about all of this, I was surprised as well. I never thought there would be anyone willing to marry the CEO of a company that was about to go bankrupt. And even crazier is that she actually has loads of money. What do you mean by his company going bankrupt? There's actually one other reason him and I got divorced. When I had first heard he was cheating on me, I really had no clue of who he was sleeping with behind my back. And at that time, I was already upset at just knowing that he was cheating on me, and that was enough for me to start thinking about divorce. However, it turned out that he was sleeping with other employees within his company, and soon they started to speak up about it. That's of course when I lost it and chose to leave him, because I just could not deal with his crap any longer. His company began to go downhill, and it was only a matter of time before he'd have to either leave the company or go down with the ship. So the two reasons I left Jerry were because of his cheating and the fact that I couldn't see him saving the company from the image he gave it. Huh? That's the whole reason I thought after our divorce that company and him would go under, but to learn that he'd get remarried and that his company would stand back up really shocked me. I'm sure that his current wife was willing to help his company out by handing him a large amount of money. Are you serious? Now I don't want to say anything more, so you should really go and get all his wife's things before she comes back. I really don't think that even in the case that Jerry got kicked out by his wife, he'd turn to you become his next woman anyway. He told me before that he only views you as a hit toy for pleasure. And since you're not the brightest woman in the world, I think he'll have no other choice but to toss you aside. Then there's no way he'd do something like that to me. He's told me so many times before that he loves me. He even told me that one day he wants to make me his new wife and everything. So why would he be saying that if he has another wife with a lot of more money than me sitting by his side? If he loves me as much as he says he does, then I should be the one he wants to marry, right? Well, then why don't you just prepare yourself and wait in that penthouse to see what all goes down? Then you'll be able to learn firsthand the truth behind of all this. But to be honest, I don't even know what will really happen, nor do I care. What am I gonna do, Janice? I was just told by Jerry that he wants me to leave him. I had been waiting all day for him to come home to here, right? But him and that wife of his walked through the door with their hands held tight, and they both looked like they were having a ton of fun together, him and I together right now, and yet he went out on a fun date with his wife? That can't happen. Whoa, so it seems he's having a better relationship with his own wife than with a toy. And then when I went up to him to ask him to marry me, he responded by saying that he wanted to know how an ugly woman like myself got into this house. And then he went and kicked me out of the house with the help of his wife. He then turned to her saying that I'm only one of his toys and that she was nothing to worry about. He didn't even make an eye contact with me as he told his wife that. So that must go to the show that Jerry really does love his wife more than you, huh? And then his wife told me that I would need to pay her a settlement as well as repay her for all the things I threw out. That all comes out to be $200,000 and she wants it paid in cash. $200,000 paid in cash? That's quite a large amount of money, huh? Right? There's no way this could ever happen, right? But then his wife told me that if I couldn't hand over the money right then, she'd call the police on me. And that's when Jerry said he doesn't care what she does about me. Well, I mean, when you looked online, you saw that a lot of those branded items all went for thousands of dollars, right? And you went ahead and vandalized and technically stole all of that and more. And when it comes to the settlement she's asking for, I'd assume she wants a lot of money from you for cheating. But that much? I don't have that kind of money, especially not in cash. Hey, Janice, what should I do here? You should be willing to help me since I'm your friend. No way. I don't even want to deal with you. Huh? I know that all this turned out to be a huge misunderstanding for you, but you thought you knew that he was my husband and still started going out with him anyway, right? You pretty much said it yourself. You stole my husband from me, right? Do you really think I want to help someone that's done that? I get that and all, but this all turned out to be a misunderstanding, right? And so I never actually stole anything from you, so you should be fine with helping me. I really am asking you right now to please help me. If you're looking for someone to help you pay off that money, why not ask Jerry to help you? After all, he's the man that got you into all this mess, right? And now I'm going to leave. I have nothing to do with your guys' drama, so please, don't drag me into this any further. What?
Why is this happening to me? It's all because of your friend that my life is coming to an end. My wife is asking for me to divorce her, and then she wants to kick me out of this place. And now she's not even going to be around to help me with my company anymore. Why the hell is this happening to someone like me?
Ah, I see. So you're also going through some tough stuff now. Well, no matter what you tell me, I have nothing to do with you guys.
Huh? But this is all because of that friend of yours. Yet you are still trying to say that you have nothing to do with this.
Before you start saying that she's a friend of mine, remember that you are the one that started sleeping with her. You knew about her being my friend, yet you still did it anyway. So stop trying to blame this on me, when I haven't even been around for you 3 years from now.
Shut the hell up! You keep saying it like I care about her, but all she was to me was a toy. Yet, she thought she had the right to sneak into my penthouse like that. It's all because of her that my life has turned upside down.
Don't try to act like you're not to blame for all of this. You have a wife with you and yet you still decided to go out with another woman. And of course, it turned out that your wife was the one helping keep your company out of going bankrupt. Yet even with all the help you got from her, you decided it would be fantastic to start cheating again. It's funny that you weren't ever embarrassed to admit all of that to me.
Shut the frick up!
Do you think this is all okay for a CEO to do? You said after all those women around you, you want to play with you, right? But having all of them around you was due to your wife being so generous and loving towards you, right? Yet, you thought it was all because of you that you had a selection of women to choose from, and that's why you started cheating again. That's really something to be ashamed of, you whore.
Did you not hear me when I said for you to shut up? I'm not going to forgive you for calling me out like this.
Oh my, you're starting to scare me now. Well, if you don't want me calling you out and making fun of you, maybe try putting your phone down and quit texting me. I mean, if you have the time to sit here and blame everyone but yourself, then why not use that time to try and fix your company? You're going to lose your wife's financial support, so your company will sink for sure.
Crap. Unlike you, I thought that my wife would be understanding of everything. Yet now she's trying to take me down for only having a little fun with some other women. I really thought that because of all the money she has, I'd be able to get away with all of this and never have her find any of this out. Yet she's now threatening me with divorce after your friend decided to break into our house.
So you only married her for the money and to keep things hidden again? Seems you really need to learn your place, and the only way that will happen is that if you learn through pain and suffering. I'm sure there's something I could do about this.
Huh? What? What do you plan to do?
Do you know what kind of connection there is to my friend being the same person you ended up cheating with? I think I can tell your wife all sorts of things about the two of you now.
What? Wait. Please, don't do something that you're going to regret. If she finds out even more things about me being with Isabel while married to her and the past we had together, I'll literally be in hell.
And it's because you went and did all this crap that I think I'll have to talk to her. Now I have someone I need to talk to, so I'll be going. Isabel tried her best getting down on her hands and knees to try and apologize to Jerry's wife, but she didn't budge one bit and continued to ask her for that money. So then, Isabel went and sold a bunch of her own things, as well as borrowed some money from a loan shark to get enough to pay Jerry's wife in cash. And now, because of the terrible debt she's gotten herself into, she's working all day and all night to make any money she can. And as for Jerry himself, he did end up getting told by his wife to leave her. And in the divorce, she'd also be asking for a settlement from him too. And to help make sure she was successful in all this, I helped her out by sending her all the information I knew about Jerry and Isabel, and she was able to gather enough evidence from that. There were also some messages between Jerry and Isabel regarding his wife, like him calling her a wealthy idiot, and that he only needed her for his company, which of course all led to her asking for a very large amount of money from him as well. So to pay off the money he owed his now ex-wife, Jerry was forced to close his company and sell whatever he could to afford to pay off the settlement. And now that he's met his true fate of losing his company and all his money, he's now working the night shift as a male escort, trying to relive the life of having women asking him to be around.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.